All right, we're here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick tour of Black and White Coffee Roasters. Kyle, where did you go?
Welcome, guys.
Okay. All right, so we're inside, and
We're here.
It's Kyle.
Yeah. Lim's back there too. Whole crew's here.
Yeah, and I thought it'd be fun to just give a tour and have Kyle kind of talk a bit about Black and White and also show us the roastery.
Absolutely. Welcome to where I live the majority of my life. It's a little trophy case exploration. 2016, 2017 Worlds and USBC stuff. This is kind of our front of house, if you will. We have like our kind of board meeting stuff and then just where some equipment lives and is tested and different stuff. My office, Lim's office. Yeah, let's go to the lab first.
Yeah.
So this room is in like varying states of disarray. Right now it's pretty thrashed. Matt just got back from vacation, so we're kind of going through a bunch of samples that we tasted while we were away. We taste a lot of our QC stuff, like what you see broken down there is like our daily QC protocol, and then sample arrivals, more samples, machine testing. I broke some stuff, I had to fix it. Things that come in to be repaired, wherever get put here. The big open window out into the roastery where you can see the beginnings of like Brian Spillman, Beeline Dot on Instagram. Check him out. This is some art he installed for us. This piece is called Unfinished Work. You'll see the scribble grid behind everything, which usually gets painted over, but we left it a hole so that we could kind of communicate a little bit who Black and White is, that we're a work in progress. Also, this window is super important. It kind of communicates the front of house to back of house thing.
Yes.
Where we want to make sure that the employees on the floor know that the back of house or front of house, however you want to look at it, is involved with what's going on here. You also see like this piece of art you'll see is also resembled on the outside of this building as well. So we'll get there in just a few minutes.
Yeah, but this is super cool stuff.
Yeah,
we got like all the toys.
All the toys, more toys. I've been into gear for quite a long time, so you see all kinds of fun stuff floating around from Makunig to Fellow stuff, Akaya stuff, Bonavita, wherever.
Yeah.
Stuff everywhere. We always have fun interactions with gear, roasting gear, brewing gear, espresso machines that are at varying stages of broken. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look inside now.
Yeah, so this is our production facility space. Basically, this is you've left back of house, now you're in a real factory land where we store green coffee. There's usually between like 150 and 500 bags of coffee in the facility at any given time. Right now, I think we're at 2 and some change somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit more than that, but closer to 300. But yeah, so we store green coffee, paper goods, whatever. One of the fun pieces that not everyone gets to see is when Brian came, I really wanted him to do something that was very graffiti, because that's kind of his background. He's kind of a reformed graffiti artist, if you will. So he did this, "Nothing is black and white," which is one of our slogans, which is, counterintuitive to the name of the company, but there's a joke there, I promise.
Okay.
You got frozen coffee freezer there, which is where we keep a lot of our like hyper coffees, stuff that's coming out as black labels, stuff like that. We have 2 freezers, one's a little bit smaller, where we have a little bit more long-term storage. Of course, production side. So we really wanted to make this facility very linear. So you have green coffee storage and then you have a very linear production system. I'm kind of a dork when it comes to production systems. I want them to be as efficient as humanly possible. And they're always changing, which is kind of the thing about Black and White. We're always trying to be a better version of ourselves, personally and professionally. So you see a new piece of equipment that's just being installed. It started getting installed last week. Just another filling line. 3 lowerings. The S15 is what we started with in Wake Forest. And then the 35 we got when we moved next door. And the 70 we got when we moved through the wall, which if you look just perfectly, you can see there's a hole. There was a hole in the wall. If you get the light just right on this black wall, we basically cut a hole in the wall and just pulled everything through. Because this facility had these 3 big air conditioners.
I see.
Which, North Carolina, it gets pretty warm this summer. It's even pretty warm today.
Right.
And is it November?
It's November right now, yeah.
Yeah, it was 80 yesterday, so we run the air conditioners during the day just to make the life of the production team a lot more bearable.
Yeah.
They get pretty miserable, pretty sweaty, pretty miserable in the summer times here in North Carolina. So this is what we call like our green island, so to speak. it's kind of what we're consuming right now. And yeah, instant production there, which is kind of our guy Dan's space. We make our instant in the house. We can show you those on the way out of the building, or out of this space. Yeah, full production line. Yeah, we work with Savda optical sorter, Pearl Mini, and then we have 2 of the precision fills. One of them is not quite finished being installed yet. We just moved to some new vacuums last week. So
yeah, wow.
So, yeah,
this is where the magic happens.
This is where basically we do a full just-in-time system. So every order, every day we basically start new and make everything from scratch every day. Even printing the labels, which there's a big line of printers over there where we print every label pretty much every day. So like this is the classic that we're doing just today. This is today's order of the classic.
Wow.
So retail bags, 5-pound bags, and they have a big crib sheet, which you see stuck to the sorter there of just all the bag numbers, all the counts, all that stuff. Yeah, always morphing, always changing. More art there. The panda skull with our 3 kind of main colorways. The yellow being the original, the pink being the natural, and the blue being the classic, which is also showcased in the gradient of the leaves there in that bar. Yeah, and let me show you the last piece. So again, like further communicating the connection between front and back of house. If you look just right, you can see that the image is transposed on both walls.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where we try to make a beautiful space where we want to work and where we want people to feel comfortable and feel valued, and put to make this place not quite so sterile. Because when we moved in, it was just like, concrete and sheetrock, but like all the seams were just mudded over. So it was just very bare in here. It was very industrial, very cold. So we painted the walls black, which helped, but still feels pretty cold now with all the art. And as we continue on, all the places you see the scribble grid will be more art.
Right. Okay. So, cool. Yeah. I mean, this is honestly such a really cool space.
It's massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be very envious of how much space we have. North Carolina is much less expensive than say San Francisco to operate a facility like this. So.
Yeah. Where did the name Black and White come from?
So it's fun because it's tongue in cheek, right? I'm not an African American male. Lim is. I'm just a Caucasian dude. That's part of the joke, but that's like the very surface level thing that kind of gets tossed around. We think about things very differently, but the original idea is that Lim and I are both very different, both physically and like mentally, the way our thought processes work. So we're kind of this yin and yang, back and forth kind of force, which when it's working really well, it's amazing. But as with everything, it's a relationship, it's a give and take. So the yin and yang of the company is Lim and I's relationship as well. So like we see things different, we have different life experiences, we are different people. But when we can work together, it makes something really special. And that kind of goes into coffee stuff, it goes into, whatever it may be. And so the joke is that everything's really simple and it's really clean, it's really easy, but nothing is easy, nothing is simple. It's all shades of gray and shades of color. So that's like the beauty of what our labels mean and what our packaging means, and what you'll see our packaging morphing into as we go forward. Is it's kind of communicating the beauty in the tension of life, right? So it's just now don't get me wrong, that tension's quite hard sometimes, but that's just life, right? Life is hard, but beautiful at the same time. So it's deep. It's both as simple as you want it to be and as reductive as you wish to make it, and as complex as you want it to be. It's kind of both worlds.
Okay, and then where did the Panda Bear logo come from?
So the panda is really interesting. So Lim had the idea that he really wanted like a mascot of some sort. I was like, okay, cool. That's not how my mind works. I don't really think about mascots a whole lot, but I like the idea quite a lot. So I'm going through some different animals that are black and white. So like zebras, you have referees. Also in Africa, they're often viewed as swindlers, which is like, okay, so stay away from that. Skunks, of course, they stink. And then we kind of eventually worked around to this panda concept, and pandas are like crazy peaceful creatures. They're also a symbol of like renewal and renovation, like in the world of like the World Wildlife Foundation. The panda is their logo as well. So I already had a lot of these positive concepts, and very easygoing and not super swayed one way or the other by forces outside of them, even though they can't really control them. So it became a much deeper metaphor once we started thinking about it than just a beautiful animal that is also black and white.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, that was just a tour of the Black and White Roastery. I want to thank Kyle here for coming, for letting us film in here and showing off the place. And yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. But definitely check out Black and White Coffee.